This is Joker88, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Thanks for coming back. Cumminsburg's coming along very nicely. As you can tell, our main strip here with our commercial buildings has really grown up since the beginning of this city. We do have a little bit of traffic buildup here, which I think is normal. You know, I mean, look how busy that is right in there. I think that's pretty normal, though, when you don't have any other kind of transportation in your city. So that's something that we do need to focus on in the future here. Maybe today we'll put some bus terminals and make some bus routes and stuff. And maybe a taxi facility or something like that. But anyway, as you can tell, I went ahead and I added larger industry neighborhood over here to help with the demand that we are having for our industry and offices. Right now we have a really low demand for industry, which is pretty good. I kind of like having a lower demand for industry and stuff. That way we can put more residential zones down and bring more people into this city. We have roughly 1,300 people in the city, and we're actually at negative 7,000, so we're getting closer to breaking even. I think at the beginning episode, I think we were way further in debt. So also, I started work on my first cargo train terminal here. And I added some bypass rails here for, you know, trains that might be switching tracks or whatever. Usually in a rail yard you see them have tracks like that. So anyway, that's a start. I think I might expand this area into kind of a train yard area, kind of next to these landfills. That'll actually kind of look proper, I think, and we can fill that in with some concrete, maybe some really landscape it up and some bushes and stuff like that. Anyway, the train track, it actually goes underground and it comes back out of ground here and then ties into this main railway that's actually going to go all the way into the downtown once we start the downtown over there. And also I did make it connect to this tunnel underground and comes out this way, so the train can go this way down the tracks. So we have multiple directions the train can go, which is always a good thing. So anyway, for today, let's go ahead and start by finding a good spot for a bus depot. I'm kind of thinking that I might keep, let's see, I think maybe we could put a bus depot in this area and maybe be able to connect it directly up to the highway here. So let's go ahead. I think maybe this would be a good spot, kind of right behind the high school here. Let's go ahead and get, should we do the bus depot or the bus station? I think the bus depot. We could have the depot over here, and it fits very nicely here. Now, it does cause a little bit of noise pollution, I think. We are fine with that, though. I think that'll be fine. If we have an issue with it, we'll be able to move the train or the bus depot. Okay, now that we have a bus depot, let's see. We can place bus lines around. So now we actually added quite a few bus lines here, and we'll see if that helps out with the demand or the traffic problem. Another major issue is that if you look at it, the only way for our people or freight or anything to get in and out of our industry is actually to get off this little tiny interchange and drive through the city, down through this tunnel. So we need to really redirect the traffic and maybe have them start getting off here. Maybe we could do a ramp here, or even tie into here and connect to some of this area here. I'm trying to think what would be the best. It would be kind of cool to do a roundabout, maybe right in this area, and tie some of these ramps onto here. I think that might be what we do. So now all of these trucks can get off of these interstates and come over and get down onto the roundabout. And basically, here's the input of the roundabout, and all these lanes, actually, any direction can get onto this roundabout. And then they go around this way. Okay, I want to change the direction. Okay, we actually need to do just a little bit of tweaking. That's okay though. See, this is what happens when you actually build these kind of games. So that needs to be going that way. And then this actually needs to be going that way, like so. And then change the direction there. So now all these cars can get here, go this way, and then when they go in this ramp here, they actually will come out of this ramp here straight into the industrial zone. We have a lot of issues here, so don't pay attention or don't judge this issue. As far as not enough workers and probably abandoned from not enough workers. Yes, we're gonna build a residential neighborhood next. I kind of wanted to get this situation taken care of, though, a nice little roundabout here, because we were really congesting this tunnel and congesting, our 4-lane road here. And we could upgrade this to a 6-lane road, but I think for now I want to keep it a 4-lane road and see if we can do, try to utilize more of this spaghetti interchange here. I think that might help out some of the traffic. It already is getting used quite a bit, so I like seeing that. But anyway, okay, so let's get some more residents in here. I'm feeling that I want to use this area here. I think this area would look good with more residential houses. And for now, I'm going to keep it lower density. So we will just kind of try to keep... Oh, what am I doing? Okay, we will just try to keep these roads kind of... Let's drag these out about... that's okay. Let's come about 5 squares away from the 6-lane, and we'll come into our subdivision here. And we'll go 1.5 blocks basically. So let's come out, we'll just drag it to about there for now. So now we've got this kind of thing going on. But that's okay, because I think I'm going to turn these this way. And I'm going to actually make them so that they're lots. Preferably, I'd like it so that they're lots were, maybe back to back. Kind of in this little stretch here. So we'll keep that kind of like that. Let's see, can we drag this out? Okay, it's wanting to do a funky snap. There's a mod that I should download where you can do sharper angles. So where it won't do this little funky curve thing. I may have to look into that, because there's going to be some situations where we're just going to have to use that mod. Okay, that's too close for an intersection there, so. But I think that looks good. I wonder if I can connect. Yes, we can go this way. So let's carry that to about there. This would kind of be a neat little area for maybe park or something like that. And same with this area. Maybe what we'll do, let's just kind of draw in. Let's just draw in a road that just kind of utilizes this space. They can have more housing here. And then let's carry that road. I guess we could just carry that road straight through. Kind of like that. I like that. Okay. Now, over here in this new neighborhood, we're going to need an elementary school. Maybe we'll put our schools in this area. This little square here. Maybe I can do this a little better. That's pretty valuable space. So let's put our school maybe in a spot like kind of like that, where this corner is kind of a funky spot. Now our high school, I kind of like the high school maybe to be right here. So I'll put the high school right there. Now we're gonna need healthcare, so like a medical clinic. They need a medical clinic over here. And I like to put those on kind of main roads. And let's keep this one at this kind of intersection here. And then they're gonna need death care, so we have to place a crematorium. I hate death and all that crap. It just grosses me out. I don't really think anybody likes death, but I hate having to do that in this game. Okay, we're gonna need water and we're gonna need power over here. So let's just drag out some water pipes underground here. And we will just connect them up to our existing water pipes. Like so. Then we're going to also need power over here. So maybe what we can do is plan on dragging these power lines kind of over the interstate there. Maybe right to about there. And let's see if we can get... Okay, yeah, let's see if we can get some people to move in right here, and hopefully it will power up this stuff. Kind of like that. And actually, I don't want to zone any residential on these major roads. So I'll keep that free. And actually, I'll take this this drag tool here, and I'll just do 2x2 houses here. I think that'll be fine. And fill all these blocks up. Perfect. Now we'll keep these smaller houses. No towers over here. I just don't think it looks good when there's towers everywhere, because usually in real life there is not. Okay, power lines. We need to actually connect this. Let's just drag this. This is just kind of temporary until we get a better situation going here. But anyway, I don't really like the tall skyscrapers everywhere, and I think it looks a lot better when you have smaller subdivisions. So now that we've got this kind of laid out a little more, I'm going to draw some more roads. And I think this subdivision is really cool, and maybe off the back side of the subdivision we can do kind of more organic shape, kind of around this lake here. And that way, you know, maybe increase the land value and actually have some really cool like waterfront properties on this little lake. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that yet, so I'm going to wait. But that'll definitely be something we do. And then we got to figure out how to work with this interstate here. We could always do a tunnel, or we could do something something a little different, maybe go around at the back side here. You know, maybe reshape this little wing coming off this interchange. Do something like that, but we got to just figure that out. Anyway, we've got people moving in. They want commercial, so I think what I'm going to do is do some low density shops. And now the low density shops, I kind of like to have them on these main roads. I think that makes sense, and that's usually in real life kind of how they are, you know. So we'll put some commercial shops there, and then let's put some right there. And actually, let's just go ahead and line all of this with commercial shops. I kind of like that idea. Maybe in this area we'll leave this open, and kind of in that area too. Let's paint this in with residential. Paint that in with residential. And I think we're going to call that good for that subdivision. Okay, our water pipes are fantastic. So let's name this little area. And I think that I'm going to name it, let's name this Opal. Let's Opal Park. That's kind of cool. So Opal Park here. It's kind of our first low density neighborhood. Now these guys are going to need bike paths and walk paths into this downtown area where they can shop and work. I'm not too worried about this. These people must absolutely love their fast food. I see 4 fast food restaurants here. They must be full on addicted to that. You know, I know that's good food, but geez, people, these guys are just going to be really unhealthy. Not going to see much activity from them. That's okay though, as long as they're happy. As long as they're happy. So things are looking good. Our population's starting to rise again. We kind of had a dull moment there where things were kind of at a standstill. We've got a lot of unhappiness here in our industry. We may have zoned too much. In fact, we have like no demand for it. So I'm just going to de-zone these 3 blocks. I don't think I need this much, and if we do, we can always rebuild it and rezone this area out. But for now, I think that it's causing us a little bit of issues. I don't like seeing all these symbols over here, so we'll just let this kind of even its way out. Awesome. So I think that this road, this 6-lane, will end up coming out, and it's going to kind of curve this way. Income kind of about like there, and then it'll just follow the interstate, and then we can end up having more subdivisions off of here in the future. Yeah, I like that. Something that would be kind of cool to do is to create maybe a way for people to get on the interstate here. I think I could do that pretty easy. I just have to kind of look at it. It would be nice if they could get on actually back here. You know, maybe do a on-ramp to here. they can come here and get on the interstate here, and that way they can choose whether they want to go that way or that way without causing extreme amounts of different interchanges here, because I want to keep all the extreme weird interchange ramps in this big spaghetti thing. Eventually this thing will keep getting fuller and fuller of different on-ramps and stuff, and we'll try to squeeze some train tracks through it and do some cool things like that. Okay, I thought I had one going the wrong direction, but I didn't. It was just me. So let's add, for the last part of this episode, I'm just going to add kind of an on-ramp here. And maybe, I don't want traffic. I was going to actually have this road here go up over the 6 lane, but I kind of want to keep a 6 lane open. So I definitely want to use, let's use a highway here. And I'll use this first to get a nice straight road, and then I'll upgrade it to a highway. That's a trick I learned from one of my little fans that has been watching me. Okay. So let's get rid of some of these trees. And see if I can just kind of make it go. Kind of like, let's do something like that. I like that. Now all these people can get on the interstate here, and they can choose whether they want to go down this sunken highway, or they want to come up and go into the main city. The only other thing is they do need an option to be able to go this way, and that way they can get to work if they need to get to work without having to go, you know, down this tunnel, under that tunnel, through. We just need a way that makes sense for them to be able to get to there. I think the easiest way for that would be, you know, it'd probably be a tunnel. I like using tunnels in some situations, definitely a situation like this. You just have to figure out a way . If I did a tunnel, okay, I don't think I'm going to do a tunnel. We're going to come up to about 12, just like that. Come over through here. Right along the backside of this school. Something like that. So now these people can get on this way, or they can come here, cross, and loop around just like that. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, guys, that's gonna do it for today. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and just stay in touch with me and continue to watch Cumminsburg grow. We'll fill this little area in with trees. Okay, that's about it. Okay, guys. Thank you guys again. Peace out. Bye.